Let me tell y'all why I got fired. Okay? Number one, you should know this about me. I got fired from KeyBank September 2010. Prior to that, I was an amazing banker. One thing you may not know about bankers, Bank of America, KeyBank, Chase, WAMU, wherever you may bank, Regents, bankers are salespeople, okay? It is most bankers are salary plus bonuses. So when I worked at Bank of America, my job, I was salary, but I also had sales goals to hit. Okay, Drum 15, don't tell me to tell a joke. I'm telling a story. Okay, WAMU is Washington Mutual. They done fired Big Kev, exactly. So it's part of my pay structure and all that stuff to open a certain amount of checking accounts, savings accounts, debit cards, unemployment or online banking, house loans, business loans, credit cards, all that stuff. So you think that I am here to help you, and I am, but it is in my best interest to get you to open as many products as possible, okay? And when I was at Bank of America, I was one of the top salesmen. No, I'm not fired now. I'm talking about when I got fired in 2010 from KeyBank. No, my degree is in sociology, which didn't have nothing to do with banking. Okay, so when I was at Bank of America, I was the king of the castle, one of the top salesmen. I had military banks. They wanted me to manage branches. They wanted me to move to Dallas and talk about. Oh yes, you can ask Melissa. Melissa will verify. You can ask Jay. When I was at Bank of America, I was balling. I was cashing bonus checks that were pretty nice. Okay, guys? Pretty nice. Enough to pay for cruises in full and have left over. Like, I was out here balling. Now, mind you, ask Melissa. Melissa will tell you, Liz. Oh, she's on a conference call. They wanted me to open my own branch. I was one of the top salesmen. They had me giving out trainings. Your boy was out here because it was new. Drum 15, tell me to tell you a joke one more time, fam. You got one more time to tell me to tell you a joke. I'm about to tell you a joke. It's going to be called, what does the person who asked me to tell them a joke one too many times get? Blocked. All right, Drum 15, I'm trying to act like I don't see you, fam. Now, comedians don't like when you say, tell us a joke. You don't tell a clown to be like, hey, man, squeeze your nose. Shoot. Y'all know I'm Aggie. I'm tired. Trying to remain cool. Now, like I was saying, I was the creme de la creme. It's okay, Drum 15, but I told you once now. Just calm down. We'll be cool. We're still friends. No, Bank of America didn't fire me. Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all the story. So, by the way, side story, and Jay can attest to this. When Bank of America had a military bank is what I used to ball in. Military banking was a big product at Bank of America. Hi, Taylor Jordan. Welcome. Military banking was a big product at Bank of America, and I was a military brat, and the branch I was at was near military base. So I spoke the language of military, and I spoke conversational Spanish in order to open bank accounts with the Spanishes. Hola, ven aquí, cuesta un checking account. I don't know it anymore, but I know enough checking account. I knew enough Spanish to get a checking account. All right, so I was just out here killing, getting bonuses like crazy. And there was this one time, and this is when your boy Jake, my brother Jake, came through. I really spoke conversational Spanish to get through a bank account. Firme aquí, por favor. O quieres un tarjeta de débito y después de 15 días tú recibes tu tarjeta de débito para conseguir whatever. I don't remember no Spanishes no more. So there was a Bank of America got American Express credit cards for the first time ever, and there was a glitch that anybody who had a name, address, social security number would get a card approved. Okay, so we figured out, I was like, yo, for some reason, these American Express cards keep getting approved, and I don't know why. So I told the higher ups, I was like, yo, people who shouldn't be getting approved are getting approved. What do you want us to do? And they were like, hey man, as long as this works, do it. And I was like, are y'all sure? Because I know a lot of people who will get these credit cards if they go through. They were like, Kevin, if you can get a lot of credit cards, do it. I called my brother. I said, Jay, listen, I don't know what's going on over here at this Bank of America, but these American Express credit cards are getting approved by anybody. He was like, anybody? I was like, prove it. Jay, give me your name, social, boom. Put it in, approve, 3 racks, $3,000. He was like, what? This dude, Jay, told everyone, mind you, Jay was so popular at the barbershop. So popular. He's one of the best barbers, good looking. He knew everybody. He was the plug. Everyone who came to the barbershop, Jay was like, hey, my brother worked down at Bank of America. He'd get you the credit card for the low. How much? What I got to do? All you got to do is hit him with your name, social security card. He gonna get you for the low. I was out here like Billy Bob Thornton, bow. I mean, people who had negative credit scores. Their credit score was negative 312. Boom, and it wasn't even like $50. It was $3,000, $2,000, $5,000. American Express never got a dime. My boys was out here buying Xboxes, grills, washer and dryer, suits. Nobody was paying their bills. They was like, look, my credit already jacked up. Y'all should have never gave me credit. So that month, I had like broke the record for credit cards. They were like, how are you doing this? And I was like, well, you know, I just went into underserved communities and I've been telling them about the Murky Locks and special services. All it was that everybody I knew from high school, colleges, and Jay, all the people came through. And it was like, as long as it was working, people was calling me at work. They was showing up at my job like, Jay had told me to come see you. Did you, Kev? I mean, people with gold grills, drug dealers, prostitutes, strippers, all the undesirables of the community were coming through the Bank of America. They didn't even put no clothes on. They was in Jordan shorts and grills. Hey, they would just start pointing at me at my desk. Yes, I tore everybody's credit up. Hey, you got the American, you got the swipes. You got the swipes. You got the swipe. I'm gonna be in the lobby. I'm gonna be in the lobby. I made a killing, okay? So, long story short, I balled out at Bank of America for about a good year and a half. 3 years, actually. I was at one branch for about a year and a half, and I did so well that I didn't get greedy. I went crazy, got things, and what happened is, eventually, they just figured out. American Express was like, something's wrong, and people started getting declined. But by then, everybody who wanted one had one. My grandma, mom, sister, brother. I tried to get Aunt one, but he didn't want one. He was like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. I was like, man, shut up. I can get you $3,000. Do you want it or not? He was like, I don't know if I want it. And then like 2 years later, he was like, can you still give me that credit card? I was like, Negro, the plug done dried up. So anyway, I balled so much. They were like, Kevin, we're going to move you to another branch because this branch has been dying. We're going to move you to this other branch by the mall. Moved your boy to the mall. Still balling. No, Aunt wasn't smart because this was free. No, there was nothing wrong with this. You didn't get your credit messed up. If you got the card and you paid your bill, it helped build your credit. There was like 7 people who used the card to rebuild their credit, and like 700 people who just was messed up. I mean, the bills and stuff was the same. People just jacked their credit up. But anyway, they moved me to another branch. They were like, we're going to promote you. And they didn't even want to give me this job at first, Bank of America, because I never was a teller. I never was a teller or nothing. I went straight from working at a daycare to working at a bank, and none of the personal bankers wanted me to do it, and I came in there bald. And then can you stop? Because when you break something, what are you going to say? It was an accident, and I told you not to play with toys in here. Take it in your room and play with it where there's no TV. Thank you. Okay, so like I was saying, they're about to break my brand new TV, man. We about to have a problem. Me and him was about to go head up. Okay, so anyway, I moved to the big branch, balling again. Okay, balling out of control. Everything was working well. Blah 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 blah. What happened was there was a manager that moved. Matter of fact, my first manager there was the best. She let us take an hour and a half lunch breaks. She was so cool. She was the best. And then what happened was there was a manager that hated me and I hated her. And this is why I quit Bank of America. See, Jason bought his house because that car raised his credit score to get 100% financing. I told the people, this is not no fake thing. If you use it to your benefit, you'll get good credit. If you don't, it'll ruin your credit, okay? So anyway, People always say you don't leave jobs, you leave leaders. And this was so true because her name was Linda Maury or Linda Mahoney or something like that. And I hated her. We had went from working 5 days a week, and we had to work Saturdays, but we only worked from 10 to 1, but we got paid for 8 hours. And at the old manager, we had a full day off during the week. And yeah, I'll give her name. I don't care. I don't care. She was a jerk. And Linda came in and she started making us work 6 days a week. Instead of giving us a full day off, she would make us work half day on Saturday and a half day on Wednesday. So you would have to work every day but Sunday. And I was like, man, no, that's stupid. I don't want to work 6 days a week. I got stuff to do. I need 2 days off because I went to church on Sunday. So I was just like working, and I was like Bible study leader and teaching Sunday school. So it was like going to work 7 days a week. The previous boss used to have Tuesdays off, and Saturdays would work from 10 to 1 and get paid for the full day. Or Linda would make us work 5 hours on Saturday. We'd have to come in an hour or two before the bank opened and stay 2 hours and call people on Saturday afternoon for call nights. Hey, do you want a credit card? Hey, how's your account? Hey, man, don't nobody want to talk to you on Saturday afternoon about their banking? I used to get hung up on all the time. Shut up. That's what them telling me that. Shut up. So I told Melissa, I was like, look, Melissa, I hate this person. I hate working 6 days a week. I hate it. I just can't work with her. I just can't. And Melissa was like, okay, no big deal. So Melissa was working at KeyBank. So she put in a good word for your boy, and I got a job at KeyBank, which was a increase in salary. And we thank God for grace. The problem was KeyBank was the opposite of Bank of America. Bank of America, I could get my sales goals easily because Bank of America had high traffic. People were always coming. I had worked by a military base first. Second, I worked by the mall. So people were always walking in. Then I took a job at KeyBank for more money, and I went and worked way in the boondocks, way in like a suburban Washington when nobody was ever walking in. And I had to make phone calls to do stuff. And listen, guys, I wasn't about to put in no work to get my sales goals. When you came in, KeyBank was a regional bank. When you came in, I could give you all type of stuff. But me going out to like call nights and having to go to your house, basically I had to work Valseam. That's exactly what it was. Bank of America, all I had to do was smooth talk people. People was coming in and I smile and wave and make them laugh, blah, blah, blah. At KeyBank, I had to follow up with people. I had to keep notes and all this stuff. And I was just like, ain't nobody got time for that. And I was a terrible employee. I didn't want to work there, but I didn't want to have to go out of my way to work. I'm not finna just like I had to go to people's house to have them sign documents, and they had cats and stuff. And it was just terrible. And the thing was about KeyBank, nobody was working hard. No one, right? Nobody in any branch. It was a very small regional bank. And then this was the housing market crisis, right? So what happened was my area retail manager basically felt like I was not living up to my potential. So she pulled me aside because I would just be at work texting and Facebooking and chilling. I couldn't even go on the internet. I was just on my phone. This was when BlackBerries were popular. I was just kicking it, okay? And nobody was really working hard, but I still was doing okay. I was selling some annuities and things like that. But what happened was she pulled me aside. Oh, I did Playmaker stuff. I was using KeyBank's thing to print flyers for our shows and printing flyers in color. I would get to work early and print 100 flyers in color and then go put them in my car before anybody got to the branch. I was terrible, guys. I mean, printing scripts front and wouldn't even go front and back. I'll print them just a 90-page script. Don't worry about the script. Should we go to Kinko's? No, I got that. I got you. Don't worry about it. So I hated my manager at KeyBank, Nick Rhetoric. What a freaking dumb person. He's a stupidest looking guy. Well, hey, Kev, I mean, well, you know, the Mercury locks in the transition and refinance fencing. Shut up, stupid idiot. You're so dumb. Hated him. He was such a nerd. And the thing is, he was no better at his job than I was, but he was a manager. Okay, so he didn't have sales goals, and I did. He was just like, Kevin, I mean, what are you gonna do? So I used to go to sleep in the parking lot. One time I went to sleep in my car in the line for the ATM. So customers were trying to get to the ATM, and I was in there asleep in my car. And he was knocking on my window. He was like, hey, man, I mean, when customers are trying to get in, what are you doing? I was like, I'm asleep on my lunch break. He was like, I mean, you mind sleeping over here? I was like, all right, fam. Oh, he was socially awkward. He was like, I mean, why are you gonna be? You can't park in here. Customers. I mean, customers, Kel. I mean, you could always see the gums in his teeth. He was like, so what happened was the area retail manager, Lisa something, I don't know. And I'm saying all these people's real names because I don't care about them. I don't care. I hope all of them lose their jobs. I hope they get laid off. No, here's the thing. I wasn't even a horrible employee, guys. Here's the funny part about this. I was just average. There was 5 categories that we were ranked in. Checking accounts, I was top 3. Annuities, we had to sell annuities and life insurance. And life insurance, I was top 5. And then there was business loans, and there was like 50 bankers, and like 10 had business loans, and like 40 had 0 business loans. Housing loans, I was tied with 40 other people with 0. And credit cards, I was like middle of the road. So I was top 3 in something, top 10 in something else, top 15 in something else, and tied with 0 with 40 other people in business loans and home loans. Because this is during the housing market and nobody could get a home. You either had lost your job and had equity, or had no equity and had a job, or you had equity and bad credit because you lost your job. So nobody was getting home loans. But anyway, Lisa, the stupid area retail leader manager, was like, had a meeting with me, and she was like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, Melissa told me I was dumb for this, okay? She was like, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, just tell me what you want to do with your life. And I was like, at the bank or just in general? And that's when I should have known, just only talk about the bank. And I was like, you know, I like making plays. I want to be an entertainer. I want to travel the world. I want to be, you know, like, I said this out of my mouth. I just work this job to kind of pay for the real stuff that I want to do. You know what I mean? You said, be honest. And she was just like, that's what I thought. And pretty much from that moment, it was downhill. And that's why Miss Lissa was mad, because Lissa was like, why would you tell her the truth? And I was like, man, I thought she was my friend. I didn't know she was going to use it against me. I thought we were friends. I told her straight up, I just do just enough on this job to get by. You understand what I'm saying? And it's easy. They want me to stay for call nights? Are you crazy? And you know, I do a pretty good job. And I wasn't caring about nothing because I wasn't even like the worst employee. But what the problem was she was like, she said, you know what? I feel like you're not working to your potential, and I'm glad I know why. It's because you don't really want to be here. So I feel like you're either going to work here or you're going to chase your dream, but you can't do both. So I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, don't worry about it. We'll talk again later. Monday morning, I was on a performance improvement plan by the stupid manager. He was like, hey, I'm going to call you into a meeting here. I mean, hey, I talked to the area retail lead manager, and we're going to have to put you on a performance improvement plan. What that means is you're going to have to get $1.3 million in business loans within 90 days and $2.6 million in home loans within 90 days, or we're going to have to let you go. I mean, it comes straight from the top. And at that moment, I knew I was fired. At that moment, I knew I was fired. I was like, I mean, guys, this was in 2010. This is like, banks were failing. People were losing their jobs. Everyone in Washington's house equity dropped 40, 50, 60%. My own home went upside down. I bought my home and it was like 190. It was like worth 140. Like everybody I knew was upside down in their home unless they put $50,000, $60,000 down. So I was like, you want me to get $1 million in loans in 90 days when 40 other people in this same district have 0 like me? And he was like, well, I mean, hell, come straight from the top. You just got to do this. And if you want to stick around, we're going to have to see some improvement. I was like, bro, it's on CNN. The housing market is crushed. Like, what are you... It's like impossible. They're like, well, it's tough. What do you want me to do? No, that was a real stipulation to me keeping my job. That was literally what I had to do. And so that from that moment on, from that day to 90 days, I actually worked my butt off. I made phone calls day after day, stayed late. I worked so hard. Just killed, did all this stuff, went above and beyond, all this stuff, everything wrong. I got to tell you about the story where I should have got fired, and this was for lying. I'll tell you that story another day. I just thought about it. But and it's also for wanting to be with the bankers. Actually, I'll tell y'all, man. What happened was we had a Playmakers performance in Seattle, Washington, and it was during the day, and I wanted to go, and Jay was there, Ant was there, and I had to work. So what I did was I said, hey, I'm gonna go and sell checking accounts at this community event in Seattle. And they were like, oh, cool, it's gonna be great. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna sell some checking accounts and I'll be back tomorrow. What happened was I went to perform and I didn't sell any checking accounts, and I should have just lied and said, hey, man, no accounts. But what I did was I made up fake accounts. I gave one to my sister, one to my homegirl, one to something. And what happened was I didn't have any signature cards. Signature cards is where you sign your name saying, hey, I really want this account. Because I just went and input their information and was like, who cares? And then my manager was like, hey, did you get the signature cards? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, I need signature cards. And he knew I was lying, and he didn't think I could prove it. So what happened was I had to go get all my homegirls' IDs, driver's license, pictures, library. I had to call my sister in Texas. She sent me the ID. It was really small. I had to blow it up. I did all this in one day just to save my job. Got all the documents together. And he was like, I don't know how you did it, but you did it. And I was like, by the grace of God. And I should have just lied. Y'all, my homegirl, my friends came through because I gave them free credit cards. Okay? So who am I? These were my friends. These were my friends, giving them a checking account that they didn't have any money for. It wasn't that bad. Didn't anybody really care? So anyway, I took care of that. So back to present time, I worked hard. And 90 days later, I had 0 business loans and 0 house loans. And it was nothing to do with my ability. And had I just worked that hard or even half as hard as that, I probably never would have even been looked at. They never even would have cared if I wanted to do something else. But I did absolutely nothing additional. I made phone calls day after day, stayed till 7 o'clock, made every phone call, tried everything, went to all this stuff. And the Monday I knew I was going to get fired, I came in and I'm like, all right, cool. Saw the manager. He came in. He just said good morning and sat down. I was like, okay, maybe I'm cool. Maybe not going to get fired today. I go to work. I'm back at it. Hello, Kevin from KeyBank. Hey, man, when the Murky Luck's going to come in. I've got some high interest rates coming down. Okay, no. All right, great. Got some loans coming. Okay, no. Okay, great. Come in. Got some loans coming up. No. Okay. I got some credit cards. Hey, Bob, Bill, Sam, same time. No. Okay. Bob, Bill, Teddy, time. Okay. Bob, Billy, Bob, Maybach, Bob. Okay. No. Nothing happened. I was just doing my work. Then what happened around 11:30, I was like, hey, Nick, I'm going to go to lunch. He's like, no problem, man. Have a great lunch. So I'm like, man, you know what? Maybe they changed their mind. I'm not going to get fired. I'll never forget this. I had 2 chicken thighs for lunch. 2 chicken thighs from Costco for lunch. Okay? Went there, put my chicken thighs in the microwave. Doop, doop. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I was like, man, I'm going to be cool. 2 minutes goes by. Take my chicken thighs out the thing, put them on my plate. I got just waited for it to cool down, picked up my chicken thigh, went to bite it, and my manager came in to the break room, was like, hey, Kev, can I talk to you for a second? And I was like, you want me to put my thigh down? Yeah, just, can I talk to you for a second? I was just looking at the thigh, and the thigh was like, put my thigh down, wipe my hands off. He pulled me into the conference room, and he was like, well, you've been on this performance improvement plan, checked your numbers, and you weren't able to reach the $1 million in business loans and $2 million in home loans. So we're going to have to let you go. Okay? So if you would just gather your things, we're going to follow you out. I was like, you follow me out like I would steal something? Yeah, I mean, it's just protocol for security purposes. We are a bank. Okay? So we're going to just follow you out. So I had absolutely nothing to get of anything. Like I had no files or nothing. I just had some pictures at my desk and the chicken thighs. I went back, got my lunch because I was still hungry. Got my lunch and walked out. And I wanted to flip the table, but the table was humongous. So I kind of just touched it with my leg. And I was like, man, I can't pick this table up. So I just didn't have nothing to flip or show my anger. So I went back and I was just like, stupid manager who I hated was following me. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to be like this, Kev. I'm just a freaking idiot. I'm a stupid dope and my wife runs my whole family, but I'm sorry I had to be like this. I walked up slow. There was the one black lady who worked at the bank who was the only person I liked, and I gave her the, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you. No, I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. Look at your boy. They following your boy. They following your boy. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you. Walked out the bank. Sad. There was nobody in there. Walked out. And he was like, well, best of luck to you, Kev. Best of luck to you, Kev. I'm really happy I could fire you. Freaking stupid idiot. I want to fight him. He's taller than me and probably stronger. And he takes kickboxing classes. But out of sheer rage. Where's my water bottle at? Hey. Got out of the car to my car, my little 96 Civic, called Melissa. She didn't answer. Turned the car on, started driving down the road, called my brother. He answered. He was like, Jay, well, they done fired Big Kev. This is what I said to Jay. They done fired Big Kev. He was like, no. I was like, fired your boy. Fired your boy. They done fired Big Kev. I was so mad. Went and talked to Jay for like 20 minutes. He's like, they fired you, man. I was like, yeah, man, walk me out. Walk me out. Walk me out. The little weak manager gonna walk me out. Big Kev. Follow me out. I went to pick up my kids. Picked up Zay. There's actually a YouTube video of me picking up Zay. I recorded myself the day I got fired on my old K-Fred 926 picture. And I picked up Zay and JoJo. And JoJo was probably like, in 2010, JoJo was like 1. It might have been a little over 1. A little over 1. Picked him up from Maddie's house. And I was like, dang, Zay, I got fired. They're like, you got fired? Little Zay was like, you got fired? And when Melissa came home, I was like, you know that when your parents say you're going to get a whooping and you're not sure if you actually get it? I called her, and when she finally answered, I was like, Melissa, I got fired. I got fired, but I'm going to do so many things with jobs. Don't even worry. I'm going to be right back on my feet. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad, Liz? Are you mad? Are you mad? And she knew I was going to get fired. We both knew I was going to get fired. From the day they put me on the plan, we both knew I was going to get fired. But when it actually happened, I was so scared of her because she was still working. She had worked a full day, and I had the kids. House was clean. Chicken ready, dinner ready, rice pilaf, vegetable medley, cordon bleu, Cornish hens. You made cordon bleu and Cornish hens? I made both. I was like, Liz, please, I love you. I would do so much better. She came home, and I was like, Liz, are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? Please, are you mad? She was like, what are you going to do? And that's the worst. When you're the leader of the house and they ask you, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. I got fired. I did not know. I got fired. Please love me. Who gonna love me? Who's gonna love me? Who? Please, I can still be a stronger black man. She was like, you're gonna get on unemployment and you're gonna find another job. And I was like, I want to pursue my stand-up comedy career. She was like, was that a joke? I didn't want to get on unemployment because I was proud. And she was like, look, you don't really have a choice in the I'm not going to get a job thing. You're either going to get a job, and until you get on a job, you're going to be on unemployment. And I was like, I don't really think you are thinking this through, Kevin. I was like, listen, I can't be down there going to labor ready with people who don't speak English. You got me going down to unemployment offices. There's people who have walkers in there. You need to swallow your pride because you got kids. You got a family. You got a mortgage. You got fired. You're going to get on this unemployment until you get a job. I was like, but I can be funny. You are going to get this unemployment and you're going to get a job. Okay? All right, I love you. I love you. Boy, when I tell y'all my pride was beaten to the ground, when I had to go to I had to go to the state and apply for unemployment, I was like, Kevin, Fredericks, unlawfully fired. Yeah, my wife says I have to come here because I have a family to provide for. And I told her I had the dream of being the entertainers, but I did not have the plan to be the entertainers. So she's made me to do the unemployment because she said I have to have incomes to the houses. I don't want to do it, but she is angry. I have to do this. I am sad. I signed my name in tears. I was crying. Kevin Frederick. And my last name is long. I had to go to the unemployment office with my kids. I was a single mother. I basically was a single mother in there with kids. Please, we have no food or bread for eating in the winter's time. Look at my children. Isaiah, he is hungered. And look at Josiah, he is hungered. Please help us with the food. I need unemployment. Please, I need unemployment for my family, my wife. She will abuse me. What's up, Corey Lauren? I don't like it to be here in front of my friends and families. I don't like it. I love it to be a man. So I had to get on unemployment and I had to apply for jobs. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I was a stay-at-home dad. I started making YouTube videos. But for that time that I was unemployed and a stay-at-home dad, let me tell you what wasn't dirty. The house clean, spotless, without spot or wrinkle. Vacuum lines in the carpet every day. Kitchen clean, laundry folded, kids' noses washed, face clean, hair brushed, dinner ready. I never made the mistake of her coming home and having to do anything. And I'm a comedian, so I would have lied one time. Let me tell you what I didn't do, mess around. I never woke up after her. She got to get up for work at 7. I was up at 6:30 making breakfast. Everything was done. I was the woman. I had the little apron from the 50s. Hello, babe. I made some, I learned all the recipes. I've made beef Wellington today. I've got a nice egg noodle here that I want you to try out. How are you doing today? I've got a Spanish pot roast with peppers and green onions. Let me tell you what I didn't do. Relax, take a nap. I always answered the phone when she called. Everything was done. Rice pilaf on deck. All the fancy foods. I've made a fantastic coq au vin, lamb shanks with a coq au vin and a creamy butter sauce. Lisa's on the phone. She will tell you guys. I learned a lot of stuff. I've made a Chinese gourmet egg noodle Szechuan sauce with a light special noodles of fajita sauces. I've got a Tex with Southwestern chicken egg rolls with a hint of Spanish corn. I've made a creme brulee and a flan. I had all the sauces. No, there was one thing I couldn't do was not be the breadwinner and then have her come home from work and then do all the stuff that the women had to do. There was just no way I could not do that. I can see your comments, tea time too. Jay will tell you. I made coq au vin. Hello. Yes, how was your day at work? Let me rub your feet. How was your day? I've got a bath ran for you. I've got some Spanish bubbles that I've imported from Rome just for you. How was your day at work? You've been fantastic. Did you see the vacuum lines? Her car was clean. Kids was clean. Oh, I did it. I could not bear for her to come home and dinner was not ready. I was on that George Foreman grill. I was unemployed for like a year and a half. I actually started working for the church. That's actually how I became a youth pastor. I was unemployed and I was called into full-time ministry. So I actually cried in my pastor's office. I'm going to tell you, man, Melissa's the best. I cried in my pastor's office and I told my pastor, I said, man, I tried to tell my wife that I want to be an entertainer and she didn't believe in my dream. And Melissa turned to me and stern as she could. She said, I never said that. I never said I didn't believe in your dream. What I said was, while we're going to be married, if you don't have a job and you have income, while you're working towards your dream, you've got to go on unemployment until you get a job. And once you get a job, then we can build towards you working to quit your job. But you can't just get fired and then decide you want to now achieve your dream, and I'm not aware of the plan. This is what I said. Now, if you want to quit your job, I believe in you. I think you're very talented. I think you can be an entertainer, but you're not going to do it like this. You're not just going to get fired and then decide now you want to achieve your dreams. That's what you're not going to do. That's Melissa's favorite thing. What you're not going to do is, and she didn't even have no attitude. She was just very direct. I did not say that. I do believe in you. You are an amazing man. And I will ride to you to the end. But we've got 2 small boys who need diapers and food. So you're going to get this job, and then you're going to work on it. And listen, you know when your mom whoops you and then she tells you she loves you? I was crying. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I get a job, ma'am. Yeah. You believe in me? Now, what did I say? That you believe in me? And what are you going to do? I'm going to get a job until what? Until that we can quit our jobs. I sound like the kids at the end of Sunday school. I'm thirsty a little bit. Yes, ma'am. You love me. And you believe in me. And I have to be on unemployment. Because we need what? Income. And when will you be able to quit your job? When I get a job and I save my money and we can plan for it. That's right. Now wipe your face and get in that bathroom and wipe your face. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now tell me you love me. I love you. Yes, ma'am. I love you. Do I believe in you? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You believe in me. And Jesus died for me. What did he die? For me. Where was he born? on Galilee's. And Jesus was my savior. Jesus died for me. And guess what I did? I sat up there, I pulled my bootstraps up, wiped my face off, went down to that unemployment office, pride in my pocket. Listen, man, you can't afford to have pride and hungry children. You cannot afford to have pride and hungry children. Pride got to go out the window. I had no excuse to not be on unemployment when I got fired. Kids is hungry. They don't care how you get it. So I had to take that pride in there and get on unemployment, and I was furious. I was mad. We do have to add that, Jay. We need to do it this weekend. I was mad at myself, but the kids did not get fired. They did not come into this world. Ty John, if you want to know I got fired, you got to watch the replay. I explained the whole thing. But they don't have it. It wasn't their fault. So I got unemployment. Then I started becoming the youth pastor. And then Melissa actually quit her job because she felt like they did me wrong. And here's why they did me wrong. Because I wasn't the worst employee. I wasn't working up to my potential, but I didn't work. I wasn't so bad that I deserved to get fired. Okay? So she was like, they're just going to do my husband wrong. That ain't right. They did my husband wrong, and they're doing me wrong. And she left and went to work at Boeing. She was like, that's not fair. He wasn't a great employee, but he was not worth getting fired. But guess what, guys? Sometimes I was average, but average don't get fired. Terrible gets fired. There was people who were worse than me. How you be worse than me? Worse. She worked at the same bank, different branch. So Lisa went and got a job at Boeing, and like 3 months after that, I got a job at Boeing. And then we, you know what we did? Saved our money, got our plan together, quit my job, and left. And here's why, though. Here's why even me getting fired was a blessing. Because I never would have had the courage to quit a job. At that point in time, I never would have had the courage to quit a job and follow my dream. I had always been like, oh, I got to have a job. I got to do this and I got to do that. And once they fired me, I was like, y'all going to fire me? Then you know what? I'll bet on myself before I ever let anybody be in a position to put my family out like that. I made a vow to myself. I will never let anybody be in a position to put my family out like that. Because people were getting laid off, branches were closing, there was nothing we could do about it, right? So when I worked at Boeing and I finally quit, like right now, if I left ADD, if I got fired for whatever reason, and I doubt I would never be in a position. That's why I still do YouTube. I still do stand-up comedy. I'm just be saving money. Just in case anything goes down, you'll never have me out. I'll never go to unemployment again. I'll pick up stand-up comedy shows every weekend again. I have the luxury of not having to perform every weekend. But I'll perform every weekend, 5-6 times a week. I'll be back selling faith shirts. I'll be selling movies. You won't ever have me out here again. So the reason that it was good for me to get fired is because it lit a fire under me to be like, you know what, I'm never going to put my career and my future in somebody else's hands again. And with this job, I only took this job because Russell Simmons called me and was like, I want you to come work with me. And I was like, okay. But I ain't stopped making those YouTube videos. I never stopped doing stand-up comedy. If Russell decides I don't want to do ADD no more, it's closed. Now, I'm not going to finna struggle. I'm going to go right back to hitting the ground, doing my comedy, making my movies, my web series. I can make a buck now. You'll never have me out. Melissa won't have to go get 2 jobs, none of that stuff. No, sir. I'm not going back to the unemployment line. I'll sell dope before I do No, I'm joking. I wouldn't sell dope because I go and do good in jail. But I was glad. In hindsight, even them firing me was part of God's divine plan. Because even me getting fired was important, and it was powerful, and it was life-changing. And yeah, Russell cussed when he hired me. Russell cussed every day in his life. It's impossible for Russell Simmons to go a day without cussing. But even me getting fired, even Lisa and her divine plan and her thinking she was going to set me up and all that, even she was working in God's plan. The devil meant it for bad. But I'm so glad God meant it for my good because he knew that I was competitive. And once I got fired, he knew that that's all it ever meant for me. All I ever needed to do was get fired. And I was like, I would never put my family in that position again. And also, it was great to spend a year with my kids. As a dad, I really enjoyed spending that much time with my kids. And I also learned how to shoot a whole web series on an iPod Touch. And those skills that I learned when I was fired have helped me get where I am today. So the devil can think he's using people, and people will think they're winning, and they're just helping set you up for your eventual plan. Huh? Is there a comment or a question? Alicia should do a scope on that, because I'm a very proud man, and most men are like me, and I was at a very vulnerable place. And if she would have stepped on my pride anymore, I would have broken. I would have been broke. And she really stood by me, encouraged me, and did. I got 3 million hearts? Oh, yeah! Obasha. Obey God. He coming. I was broke, and this is why I won't leave Liz. She was with me when I had nothing. When I first was with her, I had nothing. Yes, Russell's a good brother. First was with her, I had nothing. Got a lot through the bank. Bonuses, I was taking her on cruises. I was buying stupid stuff. We had stupid money. Money that we just wasted. We laugh about how much money we wasted. And she was with me. When I got fired, she was with me. When I got back on top, she's with me. Well, now we're in a season of overflow and things are going well. She's still with me. That's why I won't leave her, because you ain't really know who you got until you lose something. It's easy to be with somebody when you ain't got nothing to lose. But when you lose something and they still be right there, like, I can't take you on no cruise. I can't take you on no vacation. We can't eat out that much. We're going to be using the crock pot and the George Foreman grill 7 days out of 7. That's when you find out who you got. When you lose something and it's your fault. Ain't nobody to blame. And she was still right there encouraging me. Holler, God, we bless her. I'm so lucky and blessed to have her. I am. I know I am. She's my helpmeet. She could have, plenty of women would have left me and then came right back when I was back on. Like Drake said, how about now? Because I'm up right now. And you suck right now. Oh. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. She could have broke me because, man, losing that job, my pride was like this piece of paper, just like right here. She could have blew on me and I would have broken half. But she didn't. And she helped make me a better man. That's why I won't leave her for an ethically ambiguous woman. I won't leave her. Because I knew my brother was with me when I was broke. He was still my brother. I couldn't do nothing for him but just be his brother. He was just there for me like, Kev, you'll get him again. Slugger. You'll get him again. My friends were still my friends. That's why I ever get rich. All my friends that are my friends now, for the most part, every person that's my close friend except Shari and Sharice were my friends when I got fired. My sisters, Melissa's sisters, Keita and them, all my friends when I couldn't give them nothing but y'all can come over the house. We ain't got much, but he's got these little breads to eat this bread and die. I had those same friends when I was balling, and when I was broke, they were like, it's cool, Kev. We broke too. Or we got some money, whatever. It was good, man. It was good. So, that's about it. Is there a comment or a question? Comment or a question? Mel B, you changed your profile picture. You got that weave hole. I see your hair out. Yeah, man, my family, man, we don't need no money to be family. We had kids. We had nobody we could go to their house because nobody wanted all them kids, and we just was having barbecues at my house with just hot dogs and burgers. We took our kids to the zoo. We took our kids to the baseball games. We took our kids to the parks. Kids don't care if you got money or not. Kids care if you have time for them. We got time. That's all the kids wanted. Zay, Jojo, Julian, Kayla, Kendra, Kristen, Mariah, CJ, Nimai. We would be at the park playing football. There's videos of us playing football and huddling up. Them kids didn't know we was broke. We didn't have no money. We were broke. All they remember is the park. They don't remember what we ate at the park. They don't remember nothing. Kids just care about having people. You done, babe?
Yeah, we're wrapping up right now.
All right. I got 2 kids. Jay got 7, and Melissa's sister had 3. Keita had 1 at the time. We took them kids to the zoo, Mariners game, parks. We had barbecues at my house. There's pictures of like 8 kids. JoJo with an afro, sitting down, just being fat. We played park football. We played kickball with the kids. We played adults versus kids kickball. That's all they remember. They don't remember playing the Wii and stuff. And that's all. So I'm going to get off so my brother can get on. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. We thank y'all for 3 million hearts. Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up. I was scared relocating to LA. I'll tell y'all the story of how to chase your dreams another time. Jason's coming back on. We're coming back to back. We bless y'all. God bless y'all. Good keep you. We'll see you at the conference.